I hope all of you are doing great, and I hope I'm clearly visible and audible to everyone. Okay, so let's talk about some previous year paper questions. Now, my endeavor is to cover various question types with you: vocabulary, grammar, reasoning questions. I haven't taken parajumble questions today because I feel that you've practiced so much for parajumbles by now, owing to your other CAT and non-CAT exams, that you know how to solve them when you are given options. Right. Moreover, I did not even find your previous year parajumbles, the ones that appeared last year, to be very challenging. So we'll look at all the other types of questions: sentence correction, error spotting, fill in the blanks, okay, FIBs based on vocabulary, and so on and so forth, right? We even have a couple of critical reasoning questions today. So a pretty comprehensive coverage of the question types. Hi Ayush, good afternoon. Hello Zenifa. Right. So, this is a question in front of your screen. It's a vocabulary question, right? Antonym, synonym, antonym questions have been asked in TISSNET in the past. Now, you have to give me the antonym of precarious, and your time starts now. Yes, tell me, what will be the antonym, the opposite of the word precarious? I have given you 30 seconds, but trust me, in the exam, you'll take even less. All right, your 30 seconds are up. I've got one response. What about others? Hi, Preetham. Okay, Jaydev says A, Zenifa says C. All right. You had to give me the antonym. Now, if I say that he's in a precarious position or his health is in a precarious position, when I use the word precarious, automatically, a frown or a line of worry comes on my forehead. That means it's not a positive word, is it? So the word has a negative connotation. Precarious means something that is risky, that is dangerous, that is uncertain, unreliable. That is the meaning of precarious, right? So if I have to give an antonym of it, it has to be something that is short, or something that's not risky. So what is not risky? Something that is secure, right? So C is the only antonym out here. And in case you did not know the exact meaning of precarious, you could still see this, that dubious and dicey, fairly common words, they have similar meanings, right? Doubtful, something that you are uncertain about, right? This is B, sorry. Doubtful, dicey. So these could be eliminated. Equivocal. Yes, who will tell me the meaning of equivocal? Equi. So again, going back to our roots, the root word technique, equal, okay, vocal means to speak. So when you speak and you do not take a clear stance, okay, when you're equivocal about something, you sort of take both sides. You're not sure. Okay, you are uncertain, you're unsure again. So equivocal again means not taking a clear stance. Right. So even this cannot be the answer. This is similar to precarious, but not the opposite. So C is the only possible answer here. Now, my suggestion to you is that when you also practice the previous year papers, don't just look at, okay, what is the answer? Oh, I've got it right, fine. Look at the other words also. You learn their meanings, you learn new words through the options as well. Also, please group and eliminate. What have I done here? I have applied grouping. In case I did not know the meaning of precarious, the exact meaning, I would group on the basis of the fact that they look very similar and eliminate. Okay. All right. Yes, we do get it, Preetham. So these sessions you can watch later as well. But when you're in a live class, you can ask your queries also. That is not available later on. This is the first question, Karan. Absolutely. Diplomatic. Yes, Zenifa, absolutely. Equivocal is when you're being diplomatic, politically correct, diplomatic, etc. Okay. Coming to the second question, this is an analogy question. If you look at your TISSNET syllabus, so to say, the syllabus that the indicative syllabus that they provide on their website, they do mention analogy and odd one out questions there. Now, analogy has not been asked in recent years, so to say. However, that does not mean that it cannot be asked in the future. So let's learn some words through this analogy question. Give me a relationship that is similar to this given relationship. Yes. Let's see what you say. First, figure out the relationship between taciturn and voluble. Right, I've got two responses. Okay, so taciturn. When you are taciturn, do you like to speak or do you not like to speak? There is a word tacit also. Yes. What does tacit mean? Tacit is something that's implicit. Something that's not explicit, something that's implicit or hidden or implied, that is tacit. Right? So a taciturn person does not really want to say things out loud, does not want to be that explicit in talking. Right? This person likes to talk less. This person tends to be a person of few words, a person who will be very terse at times. Okay, you may even feel rude because this person gives such precise, concise, terse responses. Such people are taciturn. Voluble is the opposite. Someone who likes to talk a lot, right? Remember Geet from Jab We Met? She was voluble, right? So somebody who's very loquacious, very talkative is voluble. Okay, Monkey is asking me a separate question. Reservation and doubt. They are similar words because when you have reservations about something, see, reservation also means your train reservation. It also means reservation of seats in colleges. Those are also the meanings. But reservation also means when you have a doubt about something. So let's say the government implements a new policy and you're pretty doubtful as to whether it will be successful or not. So you can say, I have my reservations about this policy. So what that means, you have your doubts about the policy. So in that sense, they are similar words. Okay. All right. Hello, Abhiram. So would it be A or would it be D? Those who are saying A, why not D? Yes. Those who are saying A, why not D? Gratitude, why A? Yes. Why not D? That's my question. See, indolence is when you're lazy. Yes. Laziness or sort of a lack of energy also. That is indolence. Okay. Indolence. Dole means pain, right? So when you don't want to pain yourself even a little, you just don't want to move. Okay. You sit at a place and you just don't want to move after that. So it's laziness, indolence. The opposite would be work. Is it? Or would it be, let's say, energy or being active? Those ideas, activity, energy, those will be the opposite, isn't it? Whereas when you look at speechless is to effusive. Speechless, somebody who's dumbstruck, is not able to speak, right? Effusive. So both are a result of emotions. When you're dumbstruck, it's because of some overwhelming emotion that you're not able to express yourself. Effusive, on the other hand, someone who expresses their emotions very exuberantly, right? That person is effusive. So when this person gets emotional, they talk a lot. So that is effusive. So the more appropriate answer here is D, Delhi, and not A, indolence is to work. Right. A lot of websites, I understand, they mention A as the answer. So basically these are memory based papers, right? So the answers are given by various websites and they mention A, but no, A is not the answer. Right? That's why I took up this question. Yes, please don't spam. Ecstatic is to excitement, similar ideas. Something that's significant, maybe insightful also for you. So they're not opposite ideas as such. B and C eliminated. Right? Hope this helps. Effusive, somebody who's very exuberant in expressing themselves, in saying, so exuberant in expressing their emotions. That is effusive. Taciturn, you learned a new word, and probably indolence for some of you was a new word, right? This word. Okay, next question is a vocabulary question. So, as you can see, we have four options and it's about words. So that's how you basically find out, okay, it's a fill in the blank based on vocabulary and not grammar. It's about placement of words. Let's see what you say here. I don't think this needs even 30 seconds. Yes. So now it looks like an idiom question when you read it further. Idioms are also part of your vocabulary. Yes. Let us see what you say. So Anshul says granted. Then Ishan says A. Naman says C. All right. C. Okay. When you take someone for granted, what is it that you do? When you take someone for granted. Yes. She takes me for granted. Now that we have been in a relationship for 4 years, she takes me for granted. When you fail to, value a person, appreciate a person, that is when you take them for granted. Is it, I mean, in this, when you look at the context, is it about valuing someone or appreciating someone, or is it about cheating someone? So I understand that it's an impulse. The moment you see for, you feel, oh, granted should come. But then it does not fit here contextually. Remember, fill in the blanks are contextual vocabulary, aren't they? So C is eliminated. D is the answer here. Take someone for a ride. Did anyone say D? Just a second. Yes, absolutely, Ishan. And Kritika, did you say D? Was Vrinda says D. Okay. D is the answer. To take someone for a ride is to cheat them, to deceive them, to trick them. That is when you take someone for a ride. Okay. This fits absolutely with this context, right? And that's why D is the answer. Take someone for being foolish is an incorrect idiom. The correct idiom is take someone for a fool. Take some. Do you take me for a fool? When let's say a person asks you this, do you take me for a fool? क्या तुम मुझे बेवकूफ समझते हो? That's the idea, to take someone for a fool, to think that they're stupid. So being foolish is incorrect. Naivety or naivete, that means you know foolishness, innocence. So the innocence that's there because of lack of experience, that sort of a foolishness. When you're a novice, you are new to something, you tend to be naive also. So sort of an innocence and foolishness mixed, but it does not fit grammatically here. Take them for naivety, no, that does not fit here. This is an abstract noun. This is the name of a quality. Stupid, innocence or stupidity, that's how I would put it. Innocence and stupidity. So take someone for stupidity does not make sense. And that's why eliminated. So you can eliminate on the basis of grammar also. That, a noun, an abstract noun does not fit here. Take them for naivety does not fit here. Okay. All right. So there are a couple of questions. Naivety. For granted, but the meaning is not that okay they'll not be able to do something. It means that okay, you are not valuing them, and sometimes when we take something for granted, then we assume something. That is also a meaning, right? We assume something, so even that does not fit. Could take them, assume, for assumption, no, does not make sense. Okay. Naive is, yes, gullible, absolutely, gullible is a synonym, right? Fill in the blanks wrong हो रहे हैं, so probably you're not eliminating there. Are you applying grouping? Are you looking at this fact whether something fits grammatically or not? Moreover, this was an idiom question. I didn't write it out outrightly here so that you apply your brain there. See, for granted is an idiomatic usage. It's used like this only. That's the structure, right? You can't change this word. For a ride, again an idiom. Take someone for a fool, again an idiom. So this was an idiom question. So give yourself that room, that probably it's because it was an idiomatic question. You did not know the meaning of a couple of these. That is why you got these wrong. Okay. Moreover, it's vocabulary. We'll talk about fill in the blanks when we come to grammar also. Yes. So there you'll see that if you know the rules, if you have a knowledge of the basic concepts of grammar, you'll not get them wrong. Okay? All right. So this was a question that I found interesting. This is from a previous year memory based paper, right? It applies both the knowledge of vocabulary and grammar. Let's see what you say here. Easy question. Okay. No, to take for granted does not mean to take undue advantage. It means that because of over familiarity, you use it in this context only. That okay, because of you know them for a long time, because of over familiarity. Now you think it's a very common thing or a common relationship or a common person, so to say. Right? That's the idea behind take for granted. Right? Basically, a lack of gratitude. Okay, so I've got A versus D. I've got some C's also. Again, I've got a D. See, we had to look at intimate as an adjective. What does the word mean as an adjective? Okay, intimate moments, intimate relationship. Yes, so in that case, intimate describes something. Intimate describes something, so it's an adjective. So these are, if I say intimate moments, these are personal moments. Yes, so personal is the answer here. As a verb, when you intimate someone, yes, what does that mean? Please intimate him of this matter. It's an urgent matter. Please intimate him of this. Please inform him of this, right? So in case it was not written that this you have to look at the meaning as an adjective, then you could have uh, got confused here, because inform, divulge, in the sense of a verb, these words also fit. Okay, to inform someone, to reveal something to someone. Okay, so no, no, because not being used as a verb. Proclaim is to when you claim something, when you say something out loud, that's when you proclaim something, assert something. So even that does not fit here. Right? This is the answer. Hope this is clear. Inform, yes, yes, absolutely. Uh, if it were being used as a verb. Mimic is imitate. Yes, mimic is imitate, not intimate. Correct. Okay, so this is clear to you. Vocabulary plus grammar is sort of a combination question, but easy question. Now, odd one out. Tell me quickly. Tests your knowledge of some high frequency words, right? An out and out vocabulary based question. You need to know the meanings of, yes, to divulge some information. So let's say the army officer divulged some state secrets to the enemy. That means that the army officer revealed, okay, disclosed, usually used for secrets, right? Okay, A, B, C, but a lot of B's I've got. B is the answer and not C. See here, dazzling I think is the easiest. Dazzling light, something that's very bright. Okay, so dazzling, and then you could associate incandescent with incandescent bulbs, even if let's say you did not know the exact meaning. Incandescent bulbs, so of course it has to do something with bright and shiny. Even if let's say I do not know the exact meaning, at least I can associate it कि ठीक है कुछ light से तो related है, right? So emitting light, that is incandescent. So usually the principle is that when something gets heated and then it emits light, that's when we call it incandescent. So, but again, lights are related. So I think neither of them should be the answers. Refulgent. A similar word is effulgent. Both refulgent and effulgent mean bright and shiny. Bright and shiny. Okay, so again, similar, ingenious is the only odd one out. Okay, now you can learn this word by associating it with genius. Okay, so no, 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 no. Uh, Naman, you are confusing ingenious with ingenuous. Ingenuous. In fact, this is a good discussion. Let's discuss this. These are two commonly confused words. Ingenuous, ingenious. Ingenuous, right? जैसे कि कल ही पैदा हुआ हो. Somebody who's so innocent, so naive, right? So innocent and naive. Bhola. Okay, that person is ingenuous. So basically, gen means birth. That's why I associated it with this idea. जैसे कि कल ही पैदा हुआ हो. Ingenious. Okay, an original, when we, when a scientist gives an original idea, he gives birth to that idea. So ingenious, something that's very innovative, original and clever. Okay, innovative, original and clever, that is called ingenious. Oh, what an ingenious idea, what an ingenious solution to this problem. So that's the meaning. You can also associate it with genius, because clever hai na, so original and clever, you can associate it with genius also, just to make the learning easier. Okay, so it is not related to light at all. Indigenous is again a different word, which means, yes, local, native, that's the idea. Okay, indigenous. So something that is indigenous, uh, gen again is there. It's basically there at your place. It took birth at your place, at a particular place, belongs to that place. Native, local. Great, great. So this was an odd one out question. Now again, TISSNET has mentioned this, that okay, odd one out questions can be asked, right? Although I did not find one last year, okay, even last to last year, but then we should practice such questions if they're there in the syllabus. Okay, FIV based on vocabulary, a previous year question, I mean last year question. Let's see what you say. Okay. So what do you say? I've got C. All right. What else? Hmm. What's a squabble? Okay, I've got C. Okay, again C. So a squabble is also sort of a dispute, but it's a minor, trivial dispute, right? Dispute about something very trivial. That is squabble. So when I looked at this question, my first instinct was to group them, right? Squabble, dispute, similar ideas lag rahe hain. Clause does not fit at all. Clauses are present in legal contracts, legal agreements. Yes, you have clauses. So conditions. So condition does not fit. Now conundrum. What is a conundrum? A dilemma. Yes, conundrum is a dilemma. So first thing that I did was I sort of decoded the meanings of all the words. Now, there was no way out of the dispute than to fake it. There was no way out of the squabble than to fake it. If these were to be the answers, if one of these were to be the answer, then actually both of them fit. दोनों ही फिट कर रहे हैं ऐसे तो dispute अगर यहाँ पर डालना है तो so probably neither is the answer. The answer is C, conundrum. So conundrum is a dilemma. You're in a problem, you're in a difficulty, you're in a predicament, as we say it, right? So आप उसी से बाहर निकलने की कोशिश करते हो ना जब आप एक डिफिकल्टी एक प्रॉब्लम में फंसे हुए होते हो yes when you're stuck in a problem that's when you'll try to get out of it so that's why conundrum fits the best here out of the other options so if you look at it not very difficult words so to say but it became a matter of context and elimination as to what should come here that's why I took up this question I liked it okay see okay, now see, last year you had some critical reasoning questions also, so to say, right? In fact, verbal reasoning is something that's mentioned as part of your TISSNET indicative syllabus. So let's have a look at two such questions. Both are pretty interesting, right? Both are from the last year memory based paper. Let's see what you say here. I'll give you 1 minute for these. Okay, let's start. Okay, usually your DILR experts, faculty members do such questions with you, yes? See, all right, is what you say. So it was an out and out, arrangement questions. You categorized, okay, the baby has eight stuffed animals and has placed them into groups of two or three. Important information. He has separated the monkey, the llama, and the dog, right? So monkey, llama, dog को different piles में रखा है. I don't know if this is the first pile, this is the second pile, this is the third pile, right? I don't know that. Now, the first pile includes a lion and a mouse. So, this is again a piece of information that is given to me. First pile includes a lion, okay, and a mouse. All right. The elephant and the fish are in the same pile. So, they are in the same pile, elephant and the fish. The eighth animal is a turtle. So, basically, it's telling you, okay, seven animals हो गए, अब जो बचा हुआ है वो turtle. So, this information is given to me. Yes. From this information, what all can I conclude? The fish and the llama are in the same pile. I don't know whether the fish and the llama are in the same pile or not. Okay, maybe there is a separate pile which has just elephant and fish, right? And not the llama. So, eliminated. The elephant and the turtle are in the same pile. Again, for the same reason that I eliminated A, I can eliminate B also. Because there could be a pile that just has elephant and fish, not even the turtle. Exactly two animals are there in the second pile. Why is that essential? Maybe, let's say maybe the llama, the elephant and the fish, they are in the second pile together. I don't know. So three animals may be there in the first pile. That's a possibility because it's given to us that this person, this baby has grouped its toys in groups of two or three. So three animals may be there in the first pile, isn't it? So C is the only possible answer here. Such an easy question. It was asked as a part of English proficiency last year, right? Okay. Now coming to another one, that's a proper critical reasoning question. Again, 1 minute. What do you say? I've got one response. Hmm. D is what I've got. B also. B Bangalore. Okay. A. Okay. So those who have marked A, why not D? Those who have marked D, why not A? I think B can be rejected. Okay. The medicines would not work. So when I say the medicines would not work, that is not a future prediction. The would here, it's not a future prediction. That means medicines काम नहीं कर रही थी. The medicines were not working, right? No matter how much I tried, this just wouldn't work. This watch just wouldn't work. So it's basically out of my frustration that I'm saying this. So the medicines would not work. The medicines were not working. The medical staff had already deprioritized visits to this room filled with patients. Important sentence. The medical staff had already deprioritized visits to this room filled with patients. इस room में कम priority थी. These were ones with high mortality chances. They had high mortality chances. Again, important piece of information. They had many other pre-existing conditions that were affected by this virus strain. Okay, so uh, comorbidities is what we call this. When you have pre-existing conditions that were affected by this virus strain. So probably their comorbid, because of some virus, their comorbidities had got aggravated. The relatives had been told to not come in or visit. The morale was low in the room. It was all a waiting game. Caring for these patients was physically taxing and emotionally draining, but the nurses would not give up. The nurses were not giving up on them. So we can't infer B at all. That, they were not given adequate care by the hospital. Okay, I can't give such a short statement given this information. Okay, all the patients would die soon, too extreme to be the answer. So I think B and C should have been eliminated right away. Yes. So between A and D, those who mark D, why not A? And those who marked A, why not D? That's my question. The ones who had caught the virus were likely to die. The ones who had caught the virus were likely to die. Okay. So this part is what actually becomes the deciding part. A is the answer here. The patients were roomed together based on their survival chances, right? We are talking about high mortality chances. These were ones with high mortality chances. So these two sentences actually help me in inferring A. The medical staff had already deprioritized visits to this room filled with patients. That means all the patients in this room were they were categorized on some basis. That's why the visits had been deprioritized. What was the categorization criteria? These were ones with high mortality chances, right? So their survival chances were low. Okay. Now, the ones who had caught the virus were likely to die. First of all, we are talking about these people who had some pre-existing conditions that were affected by this virus strain. Whether they are still suffering from this virus itself or not, I do not know. Okay. Also, another interpretation of this can be that all the patients in this room had been affected by the virus strain. So why am I saying the ones who had caught the virus were likely to die? So one is that either all of the patients who are there in the room, they are suffering from the virus, or it's a mix. Some of them are suffering from the virus. Some of them are ones whose comorbidities had gotten worse, and that's why they have been admitted to the hospital. In both the cases, why am I saying that the ones who had caught the virus were likely to die? Because I am making the statement for all the people in the room that these were the ones with high mortality chances. So D becomes distorted because of this idea, the ones who had caught the virus, okay, were likely to die. And moreover, high mortality chances matches with survival chances better, if you see, right? So, not the patients. Correct, Naman. Correct, Naman. We are talking about all the people in the room when I say high mortality chances, not just the ones who had caught the virus, right? Okay. Option A, yes, yes, absolutely. So inference does not mean that you have to predict something. You have to give a maybe, likely to be sort of a prediction. Inference simply means what all is true based on what you have read. What can be said for sure, what can be said with certainty based on what you've read. This cannot be said with certainty because we are making this comment for all the people in the room and not just the ones who had caught the virus. मुझे नहीं पता कितनों ने कैच करा कितने नहीं किया, क्या सबने किया है, ठीक है. So इसलिए ये iffy statement होगी at that very moment, whereas A on the other hand is a sure statement and we prefer A. Okay, so I found this question to be a good one. That's why I included it. Now, I hope this is clear. And we'll now come to grammar. Yes. Let's see. FIB is based on grammar. A previous year question. An interesting question. Applies your grammar knowledge concepts. Raghavendra, I hope the previous question was clear to you. Okay, B versus D. All right. Hmm. Yes, you are correct in saying this, Karan. The moment I say they are likely to die, that's sort of making uh, a judgment on the side of death. They have high mortality chances. That's a very objective statement to make. Whereas saying they are likely to die, it's as if I'm deciding this already, right? That's there. B versus D. Okay. Now, see this. Now, the concept here is very simple. It is the number. When I say the number of anything, it is a specific number that I'm talking about, right? So let's say it could be 200, 300, a specific number, and it is singular. It is singular. So now you must be thinking that means that a singular verb should come here. If the number is singular, then a singular verb should come here. But what does this dash actually refer to? The number of people who dash interested in the play. So who refers to people? And the verb will not be decided by the number here. The verb will be decided by people. I need a plural verb here, right? Not a singular verb. So these two are eliminated right away. The number of people who dash interested in the play dash outnumbered by those who already bought the tickets to watch it. So these people already bought the tickets. That means these are the ones who are not interested, isn't it? That's why I'm saying that they are outnumbered, right? So are not in the interested in the play is outnumbered. Now why is here? That's my question. Why is here? जब उधर आर लिखा हमने तो इधर is क्यों? The number of people who are not interested in the play, why not are? Because see, this is simply a description of the number. Number किस चीज का है? Of people who are not interested in the play. This is just a descriptive clause here, an adjective clause here, right? It's describing the number, right? The subject is the number and the verb for the number should be singular. So the number is outnumbered. You get it? This particular number is outnumbered. So the number of people who are not interested in the play is outnumbered by those who already bought the tickets to watch it. Okay. All right, all right, all right. Correct, correct. Good. Now, let's have a look at this error spotting question. See, these are your instructions, but it's a very usual question. I have included a number of error spotting questions today because what I observed was that in your previous year papers, there have been quite a few, right? If I analyze last 5-year papers also, there have been quite a few error spotting questions. Let's see this one. Yes. Okay. I think the timer stopped for a while. Sorry for that. 30 seconds must be up by now. I also feel that I have discussed this concept with you earlier. Okay, the concept that is at play in this question. There were dash mistakes in your writing this time around. What should be written here? There were dash mistakes. Okay, so Vrinda has already answered. There were fewer mistakes. Yes, yes. There were fewer mistakes and not lesser mistakes. Okay, so it comes down to the adjectives few and little. They are both adjectives that describe quantity, right? So few is something that is used with countable nouns. I hope you remember the concept. Little is used with uncountable nouns. Mistakes are countable. One mistake, two mistakes, three mistakes. So I cannot use the adjective little or any degree of the adjective little with it. Little, less, least. Okay, positive, comparative, superlative. One variant of this is lesser. I'll talk about the difference between the two. Here, few, fewer, fewest. Few, fewer, fewest. Because I'm comparing this time around with the previous time, it should be fewer. Countable noun, comparative degree. Not less or lesser. Because countable noun hai. Also, lesser should not be used when we are comparing quantity. Here it's a quantity comparison. Lesser is used when we make a quality comparison. So, if I say she chose the lesser of the two evils, she chose the lesser of the two evils, right? That means there were two bad alternatives before her, two bad alternatives. She chose the one that was, not that bad, right? The one that was less bad, so to say. So I'm comparing the quality here and not the quantity of the evils. Yes. And that's why I'll use lesser and not less. Okay. So lesser in any case could not have been used here. Moreover, this is countable, so it has to be fewer. You have got it absolutely correct, right? Aditya, is it clear now? Countable noun cannot take less or lesser. Error spotting tricky लगता है. Let's see कैसे navigate करें उसे. Yes. Okay, then let's come to the next question. Now I'll see to it that the time wheel does not stop. Tell me. I've highlighted the parts that may have an error. If there's no error, A is the answer. Okay, what do you say? Quickly tell me. Monkey says D. Monkey, okay. All right. Others? What do the others say? ना टफ तो नहीं था. C, A, okay. So I've got A, C, D, B. Okay, everything. Pretty much everything. Let's discuss this. Okay. So every child and adult knows, or every adult and child, it should be knows. Okay. Why? Because every as an adjective is always singular. Every has this power that it is always singular. So even if I say every adult and every child, even if I say every adult and child, okay, the moment you put every there, it has to be a singular verb. Okay, moreover, see, adult is singular, child is singular. Just because I have combined them using and, because there is every, it will not become plural. Okay, so every adult and child knows that success is as much about belief and hard work as about skill. Now I understand that you may have got confused here whether any of these two is correct or incorrect, right? You must be thinking this. So break it. Whenever you're confused like this, success is okay. So there are two components about belief and hard work, belief and hard work, and the second component is about skill. So they make complete sentences. Success is about belief and hard work, success is about skill. Now you want to join them, you want to join them, so you add as much here, as much about belief and hard work, and you add an as here because much is not required. So the structure is retained. Okay, if you break these into component parts, these are complete parts. Success is about belief and hard work, success is about skill. Now because you wanted to make a comparison, that's why you added as much as. So nothing wrong here parallelism wise, and that is why this is an error free sentence. Okay, so belief, hard work, skill, uh, as it is about skill होना चाहिए. See Vrinda, not necessary. Okay, not necessary to add as it is here. Okay, because see how I showed it to you. um Now, if let's say this sentence were this, success is about belief and hard work, and then there were another sentence, it is about skill, and you wanted to join these two ideas, then yes, it is was required, but it's not essential, because आप जब इसको break कर रहे हो तो component parts में grammatical structure retain हो रहा है, तो as much as is correct, no error here. Okay, as much as where, as much about belief and hard work, as much as skill. No, 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 ये ऐसे ही होता है. This is a correlative conjunction pair, as much as, right? This is how we use it. Okay, you can't put as much again. No, no, you can't put as much नहीं होता ये. Okay, this is as much and then as. All right. Okay, so A is the answer. That's okay, Ayush. You can watch the recording. Now again, look at the sentence clearly here. You may feel that okay, sentence में तो punctuation errors है, but the question is not asking you, questioning you on punctuation errors as such. So please don't pay attention to those. Yes. Okay. So there is one word that looks like an eyesore here. What is that word? When we say furthermore, when we say furthermore, we mean okay, further. Furthermore is just a fancy word for further only, right? In addition, further, in addition, furthermore. They are very similar words, similar ideas, right? Let us not live here in addition. Does that make sense? Let us not live here in addition, as it is dangerous to do so. Let us not live here anymore. Okay. और नहीं रहते अब यहाँ पर. Let us not live here anymore. That was the word that I needed. So A is the erroneous part here. Okay, so error spotting here, furthermore was incorrect. There the sentence structure was correct. Okay, as it is about skill would also have been correct. I want to highlight this also, that that would also have been correct, just that we would have two sentences in that case that we were trying to join. Success is about belief and hard work, it is also about skill, and then we join those two ideas. Okay, then we would say okay, it is correct, but abhi wo wrong nahi hai, theek hai. And then fewer lesser, I think this was an easy error spotting question for you. So this is about error spotting today. Okay, I'll bring more error spotting questions also in more sessions. Yes. Correct sentence. Choose the correct sentence. Okay. So a subject verb agreement question. In case the rules of subject verb agreement are clear to you, any is mostly used with negative sentences, Ayush. Yes, mostly any is used with negative sentences. It is also used in the scenario when you want to convey it does not matter which choice you make. It does not matter which choice you make. So if I say, oh, sit on any bench, don't worry about, sit on any chair there. So it does not matter which choice you make. That is also okay where you use any. So it has to be is to be. See, the house as well as the garden. Whenever you have this additive phrase as well as, it does not make the subject plural. Subject plural nahi ho gaya just because we have as well as. As well as is not the same as and. No. The subject is still singular. So were cannot come. Right? A is eliminated. C is eliminated. Need is again plural eliminated. We are just left with B. Okay, the house as well as the garden is to be treated. You must be confused with this is to be structure, some of you. It is a future structure. But when we are sure, when something is about to happen in the very near future and it's almost certain, that's when we use this is to be structure. उसे अभी करना है treat. The house as well as the garden is to be treated for a termite infestation. Hence B. Okay. So these were some questions today. Okay, sentence correction, error spotting, fill in the blanks in vocabulary, antonym, synonym, etc., etc. I hope I've given you an exposure to varied question types that are asked in the English section. And also, please practice on your own, right? Please practice previous year papers, take mocks. It's essential because you have to manage your own time there. There's no negative marking, so you need some mocks as well, right? All the very best for the exam. We'll keep coming up with more sessions. And this is our CAT 23 comprehensive program in case any of you are thinking of preparing for 23, right? These are the mock tests and practice questions that are available there. So no dearth of mocks and tests then. And of course, we also provide you help for the second stage, GDPI plus WATs, right? In fact, in the evening today, we have a session by Savitri ma'am on WATs. Those of you who have been selected for any of the, who've got any calls should attend it, okay? Because WATs is something that you have to go through. Devise your test taking strategy with Steve Srinivas sir, okay? In case some of you are wondering when to start preparing for CAT 2023, this workshop is for you. It'll happen at 7 p.m. on the 24th. Do attend. And yes, we also provide an All India open mock for CMAT 2023. It's already live, and this will help you to know the structure, the pattern, the difficulty level, all of those things. Right? Book for grammar. Can I practice CDS English paper for TISSNET also? Yes, the grammar and vocabulary questions you can, Ayush. Yes. Okay. This is the first class of English, no, Avanti. We have had TISSNET sessions earlier also. And what else? Some book for grammar. Um, See, there's no, I mean, of course, if you want to build the concepts of grammar, then Wren and Martin, okay? Besides, it has fill in the blank questions at the back of each chapter, so that will also help you. If you want to practice questions, then I think the NMAT official guide will be helpful. Okay, the grammar questions there, they'll help you for TISSNET as well, right? Yes, definitely, Avantika, that's on the cards, right? Needs instead of need. Would it be correct? Yes, I think that was the only error there, no? The house as well as the garden needs to be treated. Yes. for a termite infestation. No other error. So if D had needs, it would be correct. Okay. All right. So we can stay connected via Telegram. Yes, we can also stay connected through these app sessions. Okay, we conduct some useful sessions on our BYJU'S exam prep app, particularly relevant if you're preparing for CAT 2023, and also some general vocabulary and grammar sessions that will be helpful for any exam that you're planning to take. Right. So do stay connected. I hope you've subscribed to the YouTube channel, and if you haven't, do it right now. I'll see you again. Yes. Welcome all of you. Uh, Other books, Ayush, I usually refrain from, recommending because a lot of times the answers given are not that great. Basically the answers are erroneous. So that's why I refrain from recommending other books. Okay. Welcome. Bye bye. See you. Thank you. Thank you, Vrinda. Bye.